Remembering what Call of Duty was and what it is becoming. It's well documented that Call of Duty today is infested with hackers. And I've been trying to do what I can to gain a profile on the average Call of Duty player by gathering whatever identifiable information I can on Call of Duty players. And with that information about the average Call of Duty player, I developed a hypothesis, if you will, on who they are and what they're doing. And as to why they are depraved PC players and Sim video game cheaters who isolate themselves as much as possible against non-competitive joystick controller players, particularly by using Xbox Live network players only mode, an option available to anyone who purchased Call of Duty in Xbox Live Marketplace. If you don't know this about playing Call of Duty, you must understand joystick controller console players cannot compete against mouse keyboard players. The application of the mouse keyboard is superior. A well-rounded PC player is moving his little weak hands around with little twitches and kind of like this. You can literally see these guys twitching when you play with them online. The way you can twitch with your little fingers on a mouse and keyboard has ruined the game, because these players are able to instantly just pop that mouse right on a target on a computer screen, and they're able to just do their little sliding moves and jumping and whatnot way quicker. Not to mention that PC players have a host of AI bots, if you will, like such as aimbot. I swear they have a lag one too, like a DDoS that lags the lobby when they get hit. There's endless bot possibilities out there, and we're seeing AI do a lot more of that, creating things like that. Now, I'm riding this, probably just one more Call of Duty out, Black Ops 6. I used to be the only Call of Duty player with all weapon camos unlocked when the game was played on console. People used to look at my gun and ask me, what is that camo? They didn't even know what it was. Not every player has it. Oh, well, now every player just has it. Almost every player. Because they're activating aimbot settings on software programs and constantly getting headshots. The gameplay has become nothing but a game spawn trap, which hackers are going to turn up their aimbots. Well, to see which one turns up their aimbot first. Because you can see these guys, they're sliding left and right and turn on you on a dime and get an instant headshot on you. Every lobby is a majority of these cheating hacks. You know, these people doing it, they're not Call of Duty players because they're not playing the game. They're worse, actually, than the last place player in Call of Duty. They're worse than the last place player in Call of Duty who is not cheating. He's technically better than a hacker. And hackers, their play starts below that guy, the guy who doesn't cheat and he's last place. The best hack shooter right now is actually, in reality, the worst Call of Duty player. The average Call of Duty player is a hack cheater who is twitching around a map on a keyboard with one hand and getting instantly aimed shots by twitching the other hand with a mouse. And they're effortlessly getting first place in the scoreboard. And at the end of every game, the Call of Duty cheaters do their little dance. You know, you get to do the dance moves like a fucking faggot. They love to be faggots. They even choose the hot chick video character. This is what the Call of Duty experience is today. And it's catered to by Call of Duty itself, of all things. The game is just a miserable place. Despite that, I still go positive when I play a game. This is a war game. Technical difficulties. As I was saying, this is a war game. In war, you need to live to fight another day. You start off by doing that by securing the scene, providing security, not dying. The objective changes in war. If you have a team that is dying, surviving becomes the objective. And I got the skills to survive, even against a bunch of cheaters and hackers. My actual skills, they sustain my gameplay, and I still usually go around a 2.1 KDR. So I'm breaking balls, and I love hearing these little hacks, these cheaters cry their eyes out to me. Especially because I'm like the only player on my team that goes positive now. So how I sustain myself in the game today is because you just heard my cold, truthful opinion on hackers. So I will try not to say it again, but I'll add to it. It's because they're stupid and always moving around, and they're easily predictable. They're kind of going left or right. It's kind of the same route. They're easy to trap in their own movement pattern, which is kind of like they have a habit. They're too impulsive and can't sit still, which is also in real life what a non-usable idiot does, who would die really fast in actual war. And this idiotic atmosphere of it's catering to brainless, over hyperactive, mentally retarded people, and that's a byproduct of just this, just giant corporations, which is part of feeding to shithead American consumerism. American consumerism is kind of like a creation of satisfaction for being an unthinking purchaser. Most American consumerists, they have no real gratitude. They'll keep buying the next thing, even if it's just really not different than the last thing. Say it only has 2 more gigabytes memory. What fucking Apple number are we on now? I don't give a shit. But I'm sure someone else out there is like, bam, I fucking know, because I'm buying it. It's new. They keep on reinventing that wheel, huh? Yeah, but American consumerism, it exists in multiple manifestations. It's a production of the concept silent weapons for quiet wars. When big companies take something over, they create a void that I compare to bread and circus. It's a true concept coined back from in the day when cruel bureaucrats ruled over society. And it goes like, all that is needed to rule a society is an abundance of cheap food and silly entertainment. I've also heard it theorized that the old Roman Empire did not fall. It's simply hiding. The old Roman Empire was a system of rule in which society was ruled by a group of people who got to do whatever they want. And they lost their fucking minds. Everybody else had to be a slave. Go look up documentaries on the Roman Empire if you haven't looked any up. And their power for lust, evil. You'll see. Kind of like Satan ruling the world like things. Unfucking real shit. It's not like literally what I'm saying is going on with Call of Duty and whatnot, but it's just the system of these like college brat people in their shithead brains and how the world is unfairly ruled. Another great example would be the Hellfire Club back in Benjamin Franklin's day in the American Revolutionary War. All the bureaucrats were out there fucking and sucking and doing drugs while we were out there getting fucked, just working every day. Yeah, so I'm not a subject expert man SME subject matter expert on the Roman Empire. I don't want to lecture on it, but there was that one movie about an emperor. He had his own like Epstein's Island, and if this guy wanted to fuck you, your girl, your kids, and if you said no, I mean, it was like if this guy found out you said no in his direction, you were a dead man. I want to say it like that rather than mention the unspeakable things this guy had going on. There's evil in this world, and Christ referred to Satan as the ruler of this world. And I'll say again, every fucking time some big corporation takes over anything, they ruin it. I want Call of Duty back to the way it was when it first hit the scenes, back in like Call of Duty 4. When you turn on a console, go into a match, and you'd have a good, honest match. But Call of Duty won't get rid of these guys who look like this. They won't permanently ban cheaters with aimbot pattern signature moves with DDoS lag input patterns. They won't get rid of mouse keyboard players. They won't separate them from joystick players. Like I said earlier, I did a quick profile on people who cheat, and here's what they look like. And they mostly actively hide their trace. It's kind of hard to find these people. Some stupidly try to make a stream of their gameplay, and I guess they try to look like professional game players, and they actively deny they're cheating. I'm willing to meet up with people in real life, and any console player who's constantly getting nukes in Call of Duty, and with a third party, critical party for verification purposes. Hey, we'll get a new Xbox at the location. We'll plug it in. We'll hardwire it to the internet. Probably at some kind of like multiplayer gaming arcade store, and we'll see if you play like you always do with a joystick controller on a console in person, and crush it with nukes. But it's an old story that too many record breakers and video gamers are cheaters. They flop in person, and who are these people? I'm gonna just kind of like show what these people look like. And from what it appears, a lot of them are around college age males. Some females, less females. Girls are vanity holics, so we are seeing gamer girls. A bunch of cringe wannabe gangsta mumbling kids to be a little geographical, maybe black crack baby egomaniacal mumbling retards, twitchy girl character, a retard dancing around the screen as a first place winner, cheating, faggots. That's now who best Call of Duty. I just saw Call of Duty has a new podcast out there, and that just looks like a cringe fest. Just look, there's 4 characters in there, shit grinning, lacking stewardship in appearance of role models, a little overweight. I watched the first one. I'm not willing to even waste my time watching another one. I don't waste my time with that fake plastic face corporate smile and horseshit and that who fucking cares content. So I got to play Call of Duty back in the day when the times were good. I think I was around middle school when the first kind of Call of Duty came out as Medal of Honor Allied Assault. And I'm having WoW flashbacks of my life back then. Fucking WoW. I hate to say it, I love my parents, but they were fucking assholes back then. My dad was a gambling coke New York Giants addict. And we were like constantly about to get kicked out of the house. We were in bankruptcy. I remember trying to play like Halo. Oh, and I actually got my original Xbox by starving myself. I used to just not eat and keep my lunch money. And somehow, it took like maybe a year and a half. I was able to afford an Xbox. My parents were like, "Where the fuck did you get $500?" I think it was like $2 or $3 a day. I used to get. I don't want to do the math, but you can do it and see how many days it took. But I remember trying to play Halo while people were knocking on my door, and strangers were knocking on my door and pouring into my room to view the house because it was an open house. My house was for sale. We actually had a computer at the time. It was dog shit. My friend wouldn't even play online with me. It had like a 333 megahertz processor. Actually, it didn't really work except for the internet. And yeah, I actually as a kid I got us banned from AOL for talking shit on the chat. One thing led to another. My old man finally got a decent working PC, but I couldn't even play the game Medal of Honor Allied Assault on our first PC, so I had to sit on it for a while. So Medal of Honor Allied Assault, its manifestation was making that D-Day scene on Saving Private Ryan a multiplayer game. There were only default classes for choosing kind of like a weapon that consisted of the standard World War II weapon kind of loaded out to that time period. The weapon wasn't customizable. There were no options to change a weapon. There wasn't even like an aim down sights except for the sniper rifle. And that rigged the game into becoming a sniper dominant game. And you can still kind of see that to this day. But it still got the job done. I would say in a better way, even. Being able to put a red dot sight on M1 Garand and play the Call of Duty in a World War II period is just dumb and disgusting. I actually like to mainly use the SMG player pack or custom or class, whatever you want to call it, submachine gun class. The setup in general for Medal of Honor was you picked out a weapon kit, rifle, submachine gun, light machine gun, whatnot, and with it you got a pistol and some grenades. There was a bazooka class where you just got a bazooka and a handgun, and it was really kind of just for trolling. It was over deadly, but it caused insane lag, and the frames per second would drop down to single numbers. So usually you got banned if you used it. So the game's original thing was that D-Day map, and moving across open stretches to that beach. But what began happening is players started dominating with the sniper rifle. The snipers became the focus of skill in the game, and it just shifted. A good sniper would simply get to where the enemy was trying to get to, lean over, and weight. All you could see was like a pixel square of the other player's head in a naturally occurring head glitch. You couldn't even see the other player. And usually they got so good, they rarely missed the second shots. And again, all they presented was a tiny pixel of like the corner of the helmet. So going head to head was like a wacky Highwood boxing match style shootout. Certain players got better, and we would watch the other players because we wanted to see how they were getting it done. So spectating other players was actually kind of like part of the fun of the game. Around the same point in time in my real life, I was on a paintball team. I was recruited by a team that they wanted to go pro, and they already had secured some sponsorship deals. They're actually from another team, and a good part of them were employees that worked on the field. So as they brought me onto this team, I was getting free entry on the field. That was usually a $50 fee. I was getting 50% off paintballs. I had little side hustles going on. I was helping ref games. I was always buying or really trading equipment. I kind of bought my first paintball gun, and I was upgrading that and then trading it for better guns. Always trading for better equipment. And what was cool, though, was this is a serious team, so I was heavily coached. And there was like one concept on how to like minimally expose myself and stay in the game. They call it staying tight. Coincidentally, all this coaching I was getting on how to be like a pro paintball player was really helping me with things in Call of Duty. I got real good at sniping, but my main thing was the submachine gun, just like a front player in paintball, and I was doing great. I was kind of winning entire matches for my team in Medal of Honor because it wasn't uncommon for me to figure out how to wipe out the other team. I knew where to throw grenades in the sweet spot, get some kills, and then I was finding a way to blindside the other team so badly. It was like they lost the match already in like a minute. Glitch. Technical errors. Talking about my recording device. So when it came to online gameplay, the big companies, they didn't run the matches back then. They were paid for and ran by players themselves by renting high-speed remote gaming servers. So the players controlled who played on their servers, and the players became like their own little corporations, their own little groups, and the groups evolved into competitive online multiplayer teams called battle clans. Some were very easy to get into. Some had only exclusive private invitation only. And I wasn't really paying attention to this. I was just joining the servers, having a good time, without knowing it, at the time I got invited to one of the best battle clans out there. Really, the number one clan in Medal of Honor. It's called Forgotten Soldiers Clan Tag FS, and they had the best server, so I was always on their player server. It had 64 players, and it was always packed. Sometimes you couldn't even get in it, and you had to go on a less popular server. But they were, all these servers were privately managed by actual players, and if you got caught cheating, sorry, my mouth's a little dry. I'm gonna have a few sips here. And if you got caught cheating, especially our server, you were like publicly, shamefully announced banned. And we did not play around with cheaters. The best of the best went into like our server, and if you did good, your name had actual weight. So it was worth not getting branded with that word ban cheater. I just want to throw this in there. One of my highlight matches, it was a 6v6 in objective mode, which is now called Search and Destroy. And my whole team got wiped out fast, and it was a 1v5. Long story short, I won that match. It was great. And that should have been the only match we lost in that clan battle match. But yeah, we won every match. Like we were like first. We were the best clan. So, back to, the game itself, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, it really stuck itself to its own time period. It made World War II feel super interesting. It was a very rich learning game. And at the same time, dealing with my paintball hustle, having to learn how to build paintball guns, modify paintball guns, buying and selling, and hustling things. I actually decided to look into owning weapons from the game Medal of Honor Allied Assault, World War II guns, and just so happened around the end of my Medal of Honor Allied Assault era, there were firearm bans that were lifted in the United States, and with that done, dude, they were selling fucking giant tables full of World War II era guns for around a couple $100 each at gun shows. And around this time, I had my first job. I was living at home, and despite my good old dad borrowing my entire bank account a few times, I managed to buy a few World War II guns. I bought a German K9 AK battle rifle, an M1 Garand battle rifle, a Russian Moget Nagant sniper rifle, a post-war Indian British Enfield that was chambered in .308. And the ammo is cheap. I'd go to the range and people would also be there shooting their own military surplus rifles. And we would share the rifles too. If one of us never shot the other ones, and we were shooting the hell out of the place. There'd be smell gunpowder everywhere. In the wintertime, there'd be snowflakes flying in the sky like it was snowing. Because when you shoot the gun, it makes the snow fly up in the air. But yeah, I'm getting tired of talking. I'm kind of jumping and paraphrasing. But I wanted to get to the end of this ranting on and profiling cheating hackers, and talking about the old school Call of Duty. And also, I'll show off some of my rifle collection. And ironically, in that rifle collection is my kitty cat. I miss that thing. But I'm out. Have a good whatever the fuck day.